Be Me 27F, Senior HR Partner, Mid-Tier IT Consulting Company, downtown. Rent way too high for what it is. Truth is, I actually enjoy what I do. People think HR is just forms and onboarding packets. They have no clue we shape the culture we decide what stays and what gets phased out. Yeah, it's influence, but it's corrective influence, making sure the office isn't some outdated boys. Only clubhouse alarm goes off 6:15 a.m. Make a matcha latte with almond milk, extra froth, sit on the couch scrolling Twitter for like half an hour, blood pressure steadily climbing, another viral thread about dudes in tech. Perfect, exactly what I need to get in the zone, get dressed, structured blazer, sharp lines, intentional look. Don't test me. Energy put on glasses. Check myself in the mirror, clean. Put together, unshakable commute is easy today. Listening to a podcast about breaking down systemic bias in corporate environments, mentally nodding along. The whole way, get to the office, my desk sits in the people ops section, prime location. I can watch everyone coming and going, already see my circle. Lauren 30F, runs marketing, Sophie 23F. Junior engineer, Kayla 29F, recruiter. We don't say it out loud, but we run this floor. Open Slack, we've got a private channel called the Coven Invite. Only, this is where the real conversations happen. Lauren drops a message he's wearing, that awful striped polo. Again, she means Greg, 50 million. Operations director. Basically the poster child for everything we're trying to move past. Not openly problematic, which somehow makes it worse, quietly embedded. Harder to call out, white, straight, older, been here forever. Knows every back channel, every unwritten rule. Leadership loves him because he delivers results. But he's outdated, calls everyone guys or team. No pronouns anywhere. Always smiling, that condescending dad. Smile like he's looking after us. Gross. I type back to Lauren, microaggressions hide in polos. Kayla drops a puke emoji. Sophie jumps in. I swear he watches me when I present. I reply instantly, typing fast. That's the male gaze. S. He's shrinking you so he can feel bigger. Sophie responds right away. Yeah, that makes sense. It feels off good. This is how you start building something. Not one big incident pattern. Recognition and document, the energy, the exclusion, the undertones. Lunchtime, Greg walks past. Our cluster stops. Afternoon. Ladies hope the week's treating you well. Ladies' eye twitch. I force a tight smile. Per my last email, Greg. We don't group by gender, team works. He pauses, that blank older guy confusion. Oh, right, sorry about that. Habit, have a good one. Walks away. Lauren spins around in her chair. Did you catch that? I nod. The dismissal, that half apology, Lauren goes on. He hated being corrected. You could see it in his face. I didn't notice anything in his face, but Lauren's usually sharp about this stuff. He's feeling the pressure, I say, leaning back. He knows the shift is happening. What's next? Open a fresh doc on my second monitor, title. It Greg_L, incident log, confidential doc X. Entry 1, use gendered language when addressing female employees when corrected, displayed dismissive demeanor, and avoided meaningful engagement. Save file, that's step 1. Spend the rest of the afternoon doing actual tasks. But my brain keeps circling back to Greg. He runs a team of 10, mostly men, 2 women. The guys love him. They all go out for drinks every Thursday. Classic exclusionary networking. How are the women supposed to move up if bonding happens over beers? Decide I'll run a check-in with his team next week. Totally routine, just making sure psychological safety is intact. Leave the office feeling charged up. Meet Lauren and Kayla for drinks. Ridiculous rooftop. Bar $17 cocktails. We vent about workplace dynamics. Lauren mentions Greg held the elevator for her. Earlier insisted she go. First benevolent sexism, she says. Swirling her glass like I'm fragile or something. I nod, hard. It's control, he dictates entry and exit, dressed up as politeness. Kayla shudders. It's unsettling. We clink glasses to reclaiming control, head home, feed my cat. Just as throw on a documentary about cult behavior, fall asleep instantly, finally have a focus. Now, jump ahead, 2 weeks, Greg_L. Incident log is getting longer. Nothing huge, all subtle, which makes it harder to prove, but more important to address. Ignore the small stuff. And it becomes the culture. Tuesday morning, pouring rain, everyone rushing into the building. I'm walking in with Sophie and Lauren. Greg is by the entrance holding the heavy glass door open, standing out in the rain, letting people in. Come on, get inside, shake it off. It's nasty out here. He spots us, big grin. Morning team, hurry in before you dissolve. We pass him. I avoid eye contact. Lauren mutters, thanks, tone sharp. We reach the elevator. Lauren turns to me, that was a performance. I take off my glasses, wipe the rain off. What do you mean the whole white knight thing standing out there in the rain? He wants an audience, it's martyr behavior. Sophie looks unsure. I thought he was just helping. It's really coming down out there. I put a hand on her shoulder. Think deeper. He assumes we need assistance, assumes we're helpless by doing that. He positions himself as the savior, and every woman walking in looks dependent next to him. It's calculated. Sophie's eyes go wide. Oh, I didn't even think about it like that. Lauren jumps in, and he slowed everyone down, created a choke point just so people would notice him. We step off the elevator onto our floor. I head straight to my desk, open the document, add a new entry incident. Positioned himself at building entrance to reinforce gender expectations. Created unsafe congestion during heavy rain for personal validation. The wording feels clean, objective. Usable later that afternoon, scheduled culture check with Greg's team. Greg not invited, just his direct reports. I sit at the head of the table, pen ready. This is a safe space, I tell them. Nothing leaves this room. I just want to understand the environment under Greg's leadership. Quiet guys staring down at the table. One of the women, Karen, mid-40s, clearly not aligned with us, finally speaks, Greg's great, honestly best manager. I've had, lets me adjust my hours for my kids, pushes hard for our bonuses. I nod, slowly. Don't write a thing. Okay. Anyone else? How about day-to-day interactions? Does he ever make? Anyone feel uncomfortable? Less than silence. Again, one of the guys, Mark, raises a hand. He brings bagels every Friday, pays for them himself. I start writing, establishes obligation and dynamic through personal, financial gestures. And is that for everyone, or just certain people, I ask? Casual but pointed. Mark shrugs. Everyone, he leaves them in the kitchen? I tilt my head. Does he keep track of who takes them? Mark blinks. No. He just puts them out. I write again, unregulated food distribution, potentially creating exclusion for dietary restricted employees. Turn to the younger guy. Ethan, fresh hire, clearly nervous. Ethan, you've been quiet. How does Greg communicate with you? He shifts in his chair, he calls sometimes, instead of messaging there. It is resistance to modern tools. Does that stress you out? I soften my voice. Yeah, kinda like just text me a call. Feels serious like. I messed up. I nod, so you'd say his communication style creates pressure. Ethan hesitates, Maybe I write it down anyway. This is solid meeting. Wraps up, I've got enough to move forward. Catch Lauren in the break room. She's pouring coffee. How'd it go? Better than I expected. He's running a culture built on pressure and obligation. People are scared to say anything, except the new kid. Lauren smirks, classic control. Freak feeds them bagels, so they stay loyal. I actually laugh. Check the Coven chat. Kayla found his Facebook mostly locked down, but profile pic is him holding a huge fish. Lauren replies immediately, overcompensating much. I react to it. Kayla digs deeper, finds an old post from 2013, some meme about grilling. Being a man's job doesn't matter how old it is. Internet is permanent patterns. Matter. I screenshot everything, print it out, add it to the growing folder in my drawer. Adrenaline spike. This is the work. This is how you clean things up. Greg walks past the glass wall, gives a small wave. I don't return it, just sip my tea. Enjoy it while you can, Greg. Things are about to shift. 3 weeks later, file is thick, around 35 to 40 pages. Documented entries, stacked door incidents. Multiple the ladies' comments, bagel leverage, phone call, anxiety. The phishing photo. Evidence of hypermasculine signaling, anonymous input from Sophie and Ethan, reworded and formalized by me. Schedule a meeting with the VP of Operations. And legal VP is a woman, nice Monica, very polished. Career-focused legal rep is a guy named Steve, standard corporate suit. Type, we meet in an executive conference room. I place the folder on the table. We need to discuss. Greg, Monica. Exhales. Greg just delivered Q3 under budget. What's the concern? I adjust my glasses. Performance isn't the issue. Culture is. We're exposing ourselves to risk. If this continues, Steve leans forward at the word risk. What exactly are we talking about? I open the folder, systemic gender, bias, hostile work environment, indicators, patterned microaggressions toward junior female staff. I slide forward the page about the entrance incident. He repeatedly singles out women in physical interactions, controls movement under the guise of politeness. It's made multiple employees uncomfortable. I don't specify names, let it sound widespread. Monica frowns slightly. He held a door. This is serious. I meet her eyes. It's 2025. It starts small, but it builds. We're already seeing reports of him interrupting women using gendered terms like girls and ladies, and reinforcing a male-dominated culture with after-hours drinking events. Steve flips through the pages. You included a meme from 2013. I cut in. It demonstrates underlying bias. Look, we're trying to bring more women into operations, right? How do we do that? With someone like Greg at the center. He's a risk. If even one of these employees speaks publicly or posts online about an outdated boys' club culture, here we're in serious trouble. Monica taps her pen against the table. You can see her doing the math. Greg delivers results, but bad press costs more. What's your recommendation? She asks. Finally. IP won't cut it. I shake my head. He's too embedded. He'll adapt just enough to avoid scrutiny and probably retaliate quietly. We need a full separation. Role, elimination, or termination for conduct. Steve flips through the folder again. If these statements hold up the anxiety, the discomfort that qualifies as harassment, I nod. Impact matters more than intent. Doesn't matter if he thinks he's being nice. The outcome is what counts. Monica exhales. Okay, bring him in place, him on leave during investigation. Then we proceed with termination. Rush hits instantly like a spike straight to the brain. This is it. I head back to my desk, message the coven. It's happening. Chat explodes, gifts of wine, dancing, celebrations. Lauren, ding dong, problem solved. Sophie types. I kind of feel bad. Is he actually getting fired? I message her privately. He's had years to figure this out. You spoke up, that matters. She sends a heart. 4 p.m. I call Greg into my office. He walks in, smiling. Hey, what's up? Holiday forms or something? I don't react. Steve is already sitting in the corner. Have a seat. Greg's tone shifts immediately. He notices, sits down, slowly, looks between us. Everything. All right, I fold my hands neatly. We've received multiple serious complaints about your conduct. He lets out a short laugh. Complaints from who we protect. Anonymity. I say flatly. The complaints show a pattern, gender-based bias. Hostile environment, indicators, intimidation. His face drops. Intimidation. I brought in donuts yesterday, creating obligation. I cut in Greg, effective immediately. You're being placed on administrative leave. Pending investigation, please turn over your badge and laptop. He stands up, face flushed. This is insane. I've been here over a decade. I built half this system. Who's saying this? Please don't escalate. Steve says calmly. If you raise your voice, security will be involved. Greg looks at me, eyes wide, confused, hurt. You know me? I literally held the door for you this morning. Exactly, I reply. Cold, he just stares. Something in his face shuts off. No argument. After that, he hands over the badge, then the laptop walks out. Security meets him in the hall. I watch through the window, him carrying a cardboard box. Just like that. I turn back to Slack Target. Neutralize drinks tonight. On me. We celebrate, talk about how everything already feels lighter, cleaner. Lauren says she can feel the difference, honestly. I believe it too. 3 months later, that feeling is gone. Operations are falling apart. Turns out Greg wasn't just some guy holding doors. He had the entire system mapped in his head. We put Tyler in as interim 26. Ally says, all the right things, uses every buzzword, perfectly, completely useless. At execution deliveries, delayed clients, furious. Monica is constantly stressed. She comes by my desk. Retention is dropping. Ops is unstable, too. Senior guys quit last week. They were part of the old culture. I say we're clearing out toxicity. It's messy but necessary. She doesn't look convinced. We lost a major telecom client. Migration failed. Greg used to manage that. personally, we can bring in consultants, I say quickly. This is just transition. Office atmosphere is off tense, guys. Barely talk to women anymore, only communicate through email, everything documented, no jokes, no casual chats, just silence and headphones, Lauren messages in the coven. Why does it feel dead in here? I type back, they're sulking, can't get away with anything anymore. Let them be miserable, but it's more than that. It's deliberate. I ask someone from IT to fix my chair. He sends me a ticket link, please submit. Request manager approval required before they just walk over and fix it. Now, everything is formal, protected, buffered. Sophie messages I asked Mark for help with code. He said he didn't want to mansplain, sent me a documentation link instead. I frown, he's twisting the language. Sophie replies, I actually needed help. The manual is huge. Read it. I type back, figure it out. You've got this. She goes, quiet. I'm feeling the pressure. Now, leadership asking more questions. Termination details coming up again. Greg didn't get severance, terminated for cause. Misconduct. Company saved around $140,000 on paper. That's a win. Wednesday morning, sitting at my desk, reception calls. There's someone here for you, a server. I pause like, IT server. No, legal server. Stomach drops. I walk to the lobby, guy in plain clothes, hands me an envelope. Jane Carter. Yeah, you've been served. Hands another to reception for the company. I open mine right there. Civil lawsuit, Greg L. versus Northbridge Consulting. And me and Lauren, plus unnamed parties, claims listed wrongful termination, defamation, interference with employment, civil conspiracy. I let out a short laugh. Tight. He's not just going after the company, he's coming after me personally. I flip to the next page, damages requested $5 million plus. Punitive. My stomach drops, I rush to Steve's office. He's already got the papers spread out. Looks sick. Steve, tell me this is nothing, we can toss this out, right? He looks up, sweating. Did you actually speak to the other women on his team? Or did you assume how they felt? I hesitate. I did. Culture assessments, read the environment. He slams the document on the desk. He hired Volkov, Daniel Volkov, worst employment lawyer in the state. He destroys HR cases for a living. He doesn't take weak ones, but we have documentation. I say louder. Steve just stares at me, holding a door. Isn't illegal? Being irritating isn't illegal, unless you can prove real harassment. We're exposed. I grasp for anything. The bagel's creating obligation. Steve buries his face in his hands. Get out and don't delete a single thing. Emails, Slack, nothing. If you do, that's obstruction. You understand? Litigation. Hold. I nod. Walk out legs. Shaky open the coven. Chat. Lauren, I got served at my house. Kayla. Same. I'm panicking. I type relax. It's intimidation. He's bluffing, but even typing it, I know he isn't. 6 months later, office feels hollow. Ops fully outsourced. We couldn't stabilize it, costs up almost 40%. My bonus gone, not even my biggest problem today is deposition day. Sitting in a conference room at some high-end law firm, dark wood table, camera pointed straight at me, court reporter typing non-stop. Volkov sits across from me, looks like a shark in a tailored suit. Steve next to me barely acknowledges me anymore. I can feel the company pulling away from me. Volkov starts, Ms. Carter, you stated the plaintiff blocked the building entrance, correct? Yes, my voice shakes. He held the door for you to walk through. Yes, but it was about control. He forced acknowledgement. Volkov glances down at notes. Did he touch you? No. Say anything explicit. He said, ladies, is that offensive? It reduces us to gender. He smiles slightly, slides a paper forward. Let's review Exhibit C. I look down printout of our Slack chat. The coven, my blood goes cold. How did you? Subpoena discovery. Rules are broad, especially with conspiracy claims. He adjusts his glasses. October 12th. You wrote, we need to come up with something to get rid of him, correct? I freeze. Steve nudges my leg. Answer. I was venting. Venting about creating grounds for termination. No, about finding what was already there, he continues. Lauren replies, I can say he stared at me. Who's going to prove otherwise? I feel nauseous. You responded with a fire emoji. Did you correct her suggestion? It was sarcasm. I whisper sarcasm. He repeats calmly. So when you later cited inappropriate staring, was that sarcasm too? No, that was based on feelings, based on a claim developed in that chat. I can't breathe properly. Camera capturing everything he pulls. Another sheet salary record. Greg earned $138,000, supported a spouse with chronic illness, 2 kids in college. You knew this. I mumble HR has access. He leans forward and on November 3rd, you wrote, hope he enjoys unemployment now, followed by a skull emoji. I swallow hard. That was inappropriate. It was malicious, Ms. Carter, you targeted an employee with a clean record because you didn't like him. You coordinated with coworkers to exaggerate claims, and your actions cost the company roughly $2 million in losses. Steve covers his face. Volkov sits back. We will settle. The company will pay a substantial amount. But there are conditions, public retraction. And he pauses. The plaintiff wants an apology on record. I look at Steve. He won't meet my eyes. Answer. He says quietly. Tears start coming. Real ones. I'm sorry. I say louder. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Greg didn't harass anyone. Volkov nods. Once that's sufficient, we're done. 2 days later, Friday. Monica calls me in. VP of HR is there too. Real authority. Late 50s, stone cold. No patience for language. Game sit down. I do. Monica avoids eye contact. Effective immediately, your employment is terminated for. 'Cause I knew it was coming. Still hits hard for, 'cause I push back weakly. I was doing my job, protecting culture. VP cuts in, you created a hostile environment. You targeted a protected class age. You exposed the company to liability. You use company systems to coordinate against a colleague, but the sexism, she interrupts. The only documented sexism was yours toward men. You referred to teams as incels. You described Greg as obsessed and outdated. It's all documented. I go quiet. Can I grab my things already? Packed front desk. Of course I hand over badge laptop. Walk through the office, everyone watching. Not admiration, just discomfort. I see Sophie. She keeps her eyes on her screen. She testified to protect herself. I don't blame her. That's what I taught. Lauren was terminated too earlier. Today the coven is gone. I reach the lobby, rain pouring. Of course it is. Pick up the box, awkward, too heavy. Try pushing the glass door with my hip. Struggling looks, pathetic. Guy in a suit walks up behind me, pauses, looks at me, looks at the box, then steps back. Doesn't help. Waits until I force the door open myself, then uses it after. I'm clear he's afraid to even hold a door. Now I stand outside in the rain. A black Tesla Model S pulls up. Greg steps out, meeting someone nearby. He sees me standing there, soaked, holding a box of random office junk. I brace for something, anything. He just looks not angry, not smug, just distant, then turns away. A young woman approaches him. Client, maybe he opens the restaurant door after you. She smiles. Thanks. They walk inside, warm light spilling out. I'm left outside, cold. Check my phone notification from LinkedIn. Greg Larson started a new role. VP of Global Operations at TechCore. Thousands of likes. I stare at it. Bank account, $400, no references, nothing lined up. And it hits me out. Here actual skill matters. I start crying. Not controlled, not strategic, just ugly reality. My salt lamp slips from the box, hits a puddle, starts dissolving, like everything else. I sit in my Corolla, turn the key, nothing battery dead, just sit there watching rain, hit the windshield, thinking maybe it was never a ceiling, just a door, and I refuse to open it.